After studying about democracy, we are going to learn about how was the constituent designed. So, firstly, democratic constitution in South Africa. Now, in South Africa in early 19th century, there was a severe control and repression of whites minority over the blacks majority. So the British, as they controlled India, they also went in South Africa and they were discriminating people racially. As majority of Africans are black in color and the Britishers are white in color, they had divided countries socially on the basis of color, that was black and white. So there was the apartheid system, which is the racial discriminatory system present in South Africa, and the South Africans had a huge way to struggle against apartheid. Now, firstly, as we see about struggle against apartheid, we will first be learning about how did the Britishers exploited the South Africans. So firstly, they had divided everything. Even the toilets were divided as this was the toilet for white and this was for blacks. And also the places to live was divided, like the good regions, the urban, the prosperous regions were said to be as the white region and the rest were said to be as black region. Though the blacks were in majority, the minority oppressed them because of their color, and they were being oppressed in such a huge way that if they are blacks, they were not allowed to do anything. Like they were not allowed to hold any meeting or being leader of any organization or being part of government or being having good status and being in good house. So these all things were, against, humanity. Like if they have that capability, then they have the right to be at that position. But the blacks are not given those rights. As whites came from another region, another country, and then also they oppressed the blacks. So the African National Congress was the umbrella organization. For umbrella organization means the protective organization because of which Africa basically got the freedom. So they led many of the revolts, and the leader was Nelson Mandela. Now these Nelson Mandela and 17 other democratic leaders, we can say, or the revolutionaries who were, leading the revolution, leading the revolt against the apartheid system, were being imprisoned for 28 years. After being imprisoned for 28 years, they came out of the jail, and they taught people of the country in such a way that those people who went in imprisonment, after those people, a huge crowd were stood, and they pressurized the white to leave their country. And whites, after some years, whites, accepted that now they need to take some moderations, do some moderations in their strong decisions and change their decision, amend their decision, as the people were in a bulk and they were few. And finally, South Africa got independence at the midnight stroke of 26th April 1994. If I'm not wrong. Yeah, 26th April 1994. And they finally got independence, and after 28 years of imprisonment, Nelson Mandela came out of the jail, and on 26th April midnight of 26th April 1994, he hoisted the South African flag. And this was how the democratic constitution in South Africa was. And towards the new constitution I have completed. Now the South African constitution was inspired from the USA's constitution, that there was the right to dignity, there was the rule of law, there was the divisions of judiciary, executive and legislature, and at that time India was also framing its constitution. Already India has framed its constitution. From India's constitution also Africa was inspired. Why do we need a constitution? Why do we need a constitution? Now we need a constitution because constitution connects and provides a bond between their representatives and the citizens. They provide a dignity, a bond of dignity and trust and affection, love between the representatives and the citizen of the country. Okay, then comes the second point about why do we need constitution. Now constitution provides the complete set of knowledge to the citizen about who will hold the representation, who will be their representation, who will have what power for doing which work, and how will they be doing the work. So these are some fundamentals of why do we need a constitution. Then comes in constitution the citizen can express their feelings and the right and dignity of citizen is been respected by the country. So this is some reasons why do we need constitution. And also the representatives can express their views over the citizens and could amend their decisions, their mistakes. And the constitution is important as what is written in the constitution is been followed and the illegal or unjust practice has been abolished. So these are some reasons why do we need constitution. Now making of Indian constitution. The path to constitution. Now firstly we got independence on 1947, okay, but our leaders had started framing constitution since 1930 or 40, okay. So they were, just imagining that when India will be democratic, we will have these forms of democracy. They were in a train and they discussed about everything and noted down that how the democracy should be there. And the person who had written our constitution is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Okay, and this was all about making of Indian constitution. The Constituent Assembly had the members who made the Indian constitution. Mahatma Gandhi were not the part of Constituent Assembly, but their views were taken in consideration while writing the democracy, while writing the constitution. Then comes guiding values of Indian constitution. Now firstly they dreamt of how will the Indian constitution look like, and they promised about providing the dignity of citizen, no racial discrimination would be present, and India was the first country in which since first there was the universal adult franchise. So then comes philosophy of the constitution and its constitutional design. Now philosophy of constitution, in that B.R. Ambedkar, Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Rajendra Prasad, their philosophy was taken in consideration while writing the constitution. The Constitutional Assembly sat, they wrote the constitution, and finally on 1950, 26th January, constitution was laid out, and then finally India got republic. Okay, so this was all about constitutional design of South Africa and India. And you can see the difference between two countries. And constitutional design is the same as constitutional fundamentals are same. I hope you like this video. Please give it a thumbs up, comment down if there are any suggestions, share this video as much as possible, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get my latest updates. Thank you.